Hi everyone, I hope you are having a wonderful evening wherever you may happen to be. I am super excited to be going live with you tonight. I've been receiving so many different questions based on style, based on trends, based on certain body hang-ups and issues, and I thought this is a perfect time to answer those. So for everyone that has submitted a question, thank you so much. And for those of you that didn't, I hope you just really enjoy this time. If you have a question at all during this live Q&A, then please feel free to ask it, as I just can't wait to basically just give you all my knowledge and share with you. So we might as well hop to it. If you do have questions, please ask me. I know for you that are on YouTube, you have that ability. For those, hello, that are on Instagram as well, you can ask as well. And if I can see it, I'll try and get to it. So we've got a bit to go to. Let's do this. The first one is a bit of a doozy. So I thought for a laugh, we might as well go with it. It's not technically style based, but you know what? I thought I'd answer it anyway. So the first question I was asked was, would I rather win the lottery or work the perfect job? And why? And I'm a big believer that nothing is ever perfect. Life is what it is. And I already love the job that I do. And if I won lottery, I don't see that ever changing anyway. I might just be able to do a few more things in my own personal life. So lottery would be great. I'd be able to help out my friends and family, especially because I already have the job that I love. So I hope that answers your question. We might as well get to more style-based questions now, because let's be honest, realistically, that is what you are here for. So the first one, which is a question that I get asked, more times than I can count with my personal clients when we do their shops or go through their wardrobes, and that is, where do I recommend to shop for good quality basics? Now with basics, I always think of and I always recommend, good quality t-shirts and tops, shirts, those real classic pieces that you can mix and match numerous ways, that you can style back and front with your more on-trend pieces. And to me, a basic needs to wash and wear well, because if you're wearing it all the time, if it's that go-to piece or that layering piece, that foundation piece, as I like to call it, then it is going to be worn a lot, and therefore it's going to be washed a lot. So it needs to withstand your washing machines, your dryers, being on the clothesline, whatever it happens to be. So wearability when it comes to basics is an absolute must for me. So I have some really great labels that I love that are based here locally in Perth, where I am based as well, who I really love, not only because they are designed locally, and I'm big about supporting local designers, but also because I think their quality is top notch. And ethically and sustainably speaking, they use the ones that I'm going to mention. They also are produced in WA with a WA production team. So the quality that you're getting is going to be top notch. Let's put it that way, top notch. They wash and wear well. It's beautiful quality, cotton or hemp or linen. And you can know that you're helping, people that live in the same city or the same country as you and are not a large factory. And so quality control, is going to be, great. So good quality basics that I love. I love one run here by another local stylist. It's Base. You can find them on Instagram. You can find them online as well. And on Instagram is _BAIS. And Sylvia, who is the very talented woman behind the label, her quality is beyond a lot of what I've seen elsewhere. It's super soft. And being from a stylist background, she really has a really great knowledge base of what people need in their wardrobes. So give them a look up. I also love another local label called Ilka, I-L-K-A. Same thing, they're designed here in Perth. They have a production team who are actually out the back of their shop, which I really love. And their t-shirts, they even have great quality, timeless classic dresses and skirts. I just love what they do. I own quite a few. They wash and wear well. They have traveled with me and they're withstand being washed in hotel washing machines, and they still come out looking as good as the day I bought them. So love them as well. Really good price point too. Somebody else I love is they're a mainstay in the Perth fashion scene. It's Empire Rose. They're based in Fremantle or North Fremantle here in Perth. And Catherine behind the label is the same thing. It's designed in WA, is produced in WA, really great quality control with materials, and her shirting I in particular really love. I own a few of her shirts. Same thing, I can tell you that they wash and wear really well because I've put them to the test. I have a toddler who often dirties my clothing. So I know for a fact that when I recommend something, I personally have put it to the test. And her shirts are great. They look really beautiful with jeans and even more so in a corporate setting. You can style them back and forth a million ways and you'll love them from the day you bought them to years and years later. So there's some local Perth Australian basics brands that I love, but I have a few other ones that I love that might be a little bit more accessible to you. Though that being said, I should say all those labels that I just listed, you can buy online. So perfect for now while you're sitting at home, you can get on your phone, you can get on your laptop and you can look them up and purchase no matter where you are in the world. But let's get to it, some other brands that I love. And I'm not going to mention too many others. I'm a big believer in reducing overwhelm. That's part of my job. I really love C&M, so Camilla and Mark basics. Same thing, wash and wear really well. Really great wardrobe staples. I love the fit as well. If you like a more boxy tee, their mainstream C&M tee is a really great one. It comes in a range of colours. So they're really great. For a really good price point, for those that are on more of a budget, than Uniqlo have really great tees. And they have great shirts, easily accessible once again. And the reason I quite like their tees as a bigger brand, where often quality can sometimes not be in so much control. It's just the way it is. But I love their tees in, like, especially their white tees in quite a thick cotton. So you don't have to worry, especially for females, about underwear lines, for instance, or bra lines, which is really important. So Uniqlo has some really great basics too in both tees and shirts. And then if you know Uniqlo as a brand, you know that they often do a range of styles in a range of colours. So there's always something to suit everyone. And then the last one, you may or may have not heard them. I really love Frankie Shop. They've got this great tank at the moment with a structured shoulder that comes in a range of colours, and that is just my go-to. It's a tank that I can put on all the time, and everyone asks me where I got it from, and because of the padding, it just looks that little bit more luxe than your standard cotton tank. Frankie Shop are based in New York, but you can also source them on Net-a-Porter or Net-a-Porter, however you like to say it. But they're another one of my favourites. All right, I spent quite a bit of time on talking about basics and the ones I love. So I think it's time that we move on. This is more of a personal question, and I hope that it resonates with other people because it is quite a common question, and it comes down to colouring and skin tone. So I'll read out the question once again so you have really great context. And that is, I have pale complexion and blonde hair. I find that white washes me out. Should I avoid it? And colours is often a question that comes up because, of course, we always want to feel our best when we're wearing clothing, and that comes down to colours. And naturally, certain colours suit us better than others, and that's based on our skin tone. That being said, though, I am a firm believer in that anybody can wear any color. And let me explain that a little bit further. And that is because colors change when they're placed up against other colors. So you can actually kind of trick the eye a little bit. So yes, you can definitely wear white. It comes down to personal preference. So maybe try your white garments, like a white t-shirt, for instance, under a jacket or a shirt or a blazer, whatever it happens to be, under another layering piece in a different color, and see when you feel like it washes you out. Especially if it's maybe a color that has a little bit more depth to it. Try things like navy, try burgundy. You'll start to find that there's colors that suit you better than others. So try it layered under another color. Or you could always look at, if you still find that white, really like crisp white, is washing you out, then look to maybe an off-white or an ivory, see how you feel. Because it's not a crisp white, it can be a little bit more flattering. Another trick that you can use is, if it comes down to personal preference, of course, but you could use like a mottled or a slightly sheer white fabric tee. And because you start to see a little bit of the skin tone underneath, it doesn't feel so crisp, bright white. So for instance, C&M, Camilla and Mark Basics that I mentioned before, they do a white tee that's kind of in a mottled, slightly sheer color. And because you can start to see the pigment of the skin underneath, it doesn't feel so crisp, white, bright. So that's another trick to have a look for. And then of course, the easiest way is to play with things like jewelry. So wearing jewelry up around the neck kind of breaks up that crisp white and can be a little bit more flattering. Have a look at a jewelry that's got some color in it, that can, as I said before, colors look different against other colors. Or even choose gold tone jewelry that has a little bit more warmth, that can bring that warmth back into your skin if you feel like it's washing you out. I hope that helps and answers your question. All right, let's keep moving on. Talking about jewelry, I got asked what's trending for jewelry this year. And I should make note, I'm in Australia, so what's trending is really unusual in the fact that we get to see what's happening the season ahead of us in the Northern Hemisphere. And so we can kind of predict what's coming. But then also because there is this, rightly or wrongly, there's this movement of fast fashion where what we see we can get almost immediately. We have a blend of trends in Australia where we can kind of see a trend last longer than it does in other parts of the world. So with jewelry at the moment, what we're seeing is, look, I've even done a really great example for you right here. We're seeing hoops trending. It's almost, there's this trend in all aspects of fashion at the moment where we're reminiscing on past inspiration, I guess, or past trends. If you've heard that saying, what comes around goes around and so forth, that's definitely happening. We're kind of seeing this 90s resurgence, and that's really come about in jewelry. We're seeing the hoops coming back in really big shapes or really chunky styles. We're seeing chains, whether fine or chunky, coming back. And I really love that you can, if you're not into chunky chains, you could layer chains to get a similar effect as well. And that is another trend that we're seeing, layer chains in varying widths, varying lengths, which is a great way to show off your personality. Plus, it means your jewelry gets better wear as well because you're wearing more at once. Other things that we're seeing is it's been happening for a while and we're going to see it again, and that's asymmetrical earrings. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, it means that your earrings don't match. So you could see different features. Let's talk about Swarovski, brought it out last year. They had a collection with suns and moons and stars, and you might have seen like moons on one side and stars on the other. Or one side might have a pearl, for instance, and the other side doesn't, or different lengths on either side. Or even if you're really into going a little bit more edgy, you might just want to wear really one long statement earring on one side and a stud on the other. So that's another trend. It's a really great way to dress up your basics and give basics new life is with jewelry. And it's a really inexpensive way to do it too. So if you don't want to be spending money at the moment, if you're really conscious of not adding too much new product to your wardrobe, then jewelry is a really great way to buy into trends, to update your look. Yeah, and it's a great way to show personality to your outfit as well. I might as well tell you some of my favorite brands at the moment, because I know it's a question. I've seen it pop up. And so some of the brands that I love at the moment, I love Hoops from Love AJ, and that's spelled LUVAJ. And actually these hoops are from them. I think they have really great classic staples that you'll wear time and time again and really great quality. A local Perth brand I love is Kit Sense. They do some really great styles, from chunky statement earrings to fine gold necklaces that you can layer, and even classic hoops as well. Another local is Mountain and Moon, a little bit more statement, but I love what they're doing. I love that they, on their Instagram, when you look them up, they show you how to put chains together so you can get that layered effect. And they have really great colour in the stones that they use as well. Other brands are Bianco, which is another WA base. They're more delicate fine jewellery with pearls. So if you want to still keep going with the pearl trend, they're definitely worth someone looking up. And then there's a Sydney label called John and Luna, who I love. They just brought out this really great chain with a chunky stone that you can wear as a necklace or wrap it as a bracelet. And I love the fact that you can wear it multiple ways. That's really great cost per wear. And it's a piece that you can change over and over again and bring new life to all the time. All right. If you can hear that in the background, I did mention I have a toddler, and this is the realities of working from home at the moment. So we're just going to keep rolling with it, because I'm sure there's other parents and mums that completely understand that background noise and what it's like at the moment with isolation for those that are in quarantine or lockdown in the rest of the world. What that screaming is like come bedtime with a tired toddler. So this goes really well with actually my next question. So we're just going to keep rolling with that. And that is that when women come into motherhood, do they often feel like they've lost their style mojo? And yes, so many women do. And I think that's because there's this pressure as a mother that you have to dress a certain way. There's all these societal rules. I'm going to say that with bunny ears for those on Instagram over here, bunny ears. And that's because realistically, who made up rules when it came to dressing? Honestly, can you tell me who said might have dressed up as lamb? Or because you're a mum that you can't wear certain hem lengths, that you can't wear low-cut tops. I've heard that said to me before by a client, that you can't wear tops that show off your midriff if you want to. Whatever it is, I think there's this pressure that once you become a mum, you have to dress a certain way. And I'm a firm believer that that is not the case. Because if you're dressing to be someone that you're not saying that, you're not a mum if you don't dress a certain way. It's if you dress a way that doesn't feel like you, that's probably better said. If you dress a way that doesn't feel innately like you, then you're going to be unhappy in what you wear every day. Because let's be honest, we wear clothing every day. The ritual of getting changed, getting dressed is something that we do every day. So if you're putting on something that doesn't feel like you, you're never going to feel confident in who you are. That sounds a bit, I don't know, maybe new age by saying that, but it's true. There's confidence and power when it comes to dressing in the morning. And I think it's because of that societal pressure that a lot of mums feel like they lose their style mojo. Plus just other things such as that shapes change because of hormones. So from before pregnancy, during pregnancy, post-pregnancy, female bodies change so much. And so it can be quite hard to keep up with how your body's shape is changing throughout. So my tips for mothers is leave the societal pressure behind. You have enough pressure as it is raising a tiny human little being. And as nurturers, you need to focus on that and not dressing a certain way. So stick with what you love. Have a look at the features that you love about yourself and love about your body and put those on show or highlight them. Basically, I like to call it your highlight reel. If you put your highlight reel on show every day, if that's what you see in the mirror every day, then you're going to start to feel really good about your body. And I know it's hard when your body changes all the time to feel that body confidence again, or if your shape has changed or is completely different post-children to where it was pre-children. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on. It can be hard to feel the same confidence. This might be resonating with some of you. It definitely resonates with a lot of my clients that I see. And I myself have had the exact same feeling as well. My shape is so different to before I had my son. So dress for you and the parts that you love about you, not what you think a mother should be. We're all different, right? That's what we should embrace. Okay. Looks like bedtime's going better. So let's move on. Jeans. Oh, the holy grail of a wardrobe. I cannot tell you how many times I have been asked about jeans that fit well, different brands, where should they look, as it's often a staple in a lot of people's wardrobes. And jeans are forever trendy. So let's talk about trends since we were chatting about that before. And like all things, jeans do go through trends. And we always hear things that this style is now out of style or fashion or not in this season in compared to other styles. And I think that with anything when it comes to your wardrobes, that you should be looking for pieces that are going to last you beyond one season. I'm a firm believer in that we're not contributing to landfill, that anything that we purchase is an investment and therefore should be something that we can wear a lot. You should get the full use of that garment. Whether you're spending $20, $200, $2,000 is an investment of your hard-earned money on that item of clothing, and therefore you should get good cost per wear. And by that, I mean you should be able to wear it a lot and not just be a one-off item. And jeans especially should be pieces that you can wear all the time. And I don't think you should be buying new jeans come every autumn or winter season. If you're someone that's really into sustainable fashion, you know that denim uses a lot of water. And therefore, we need to be conscious with the purchases that we're making. So while they're on trend denim, I feel like you're better off investing in more classic pieces. But that being said, let me talk to you about the trends. What we're seeing is that 90s resurgence and low-cut styles are coming back. Yes, the celebrity that's really making this a trend at the moment is Emirata. So she, who has abs for days, is wearing low-slung jeans. That being said, it's not a style for everyone, and I can't say I know many people that would feel comfortable wearing it. Other styles we're seeing is a paper bag waist jean, so where it sits quite high on your waist and has almost like an overlap frill. We're seeing a lot of loose fitting styles and even asymmetric waistbands, so where it kind of dips in, it's not a straight line waistband. So that's what we're seeing. What I suggest, as I mentioned before, is when you're buying jeans, really consider that cost per wear and buy styles that are going to get you through for more than one season. So with this, look for classic colors such as mid-wash blue is really flattering, dark blues, black, and so forth. They're going to get you through any kind of occasion, really easy to dress up and down. Styles such as, I know for those that follow trend reports, last year a lot of trend reports came out saying that skinny jeans are going out of style. That's not actually the case. Skinny jeans are still selling as a really popular cut. And people are still wearing them, and I definitely think there's still a place for the skinny jeans. So skinny jeans, and then you can never go wrong with a straight leg or a slim fit jean as well. They can often be more comfortable than a skinny leg, and it's a really classic style that you can change the look of all the time, especially with different cuffs. And if you want to know how to cuff your jeans, I've done a YouTube video on it as well to help you out, and things like that can change the look up of your jeans. Brands that I really love. I really love classic Levi's for their straight and their slim leg jeans. These are styles that will never go out of fashion. There's a reason why Levi's have been around all the time. If you like a high waist or a mid waist, then Levi's have some really great options. Two Australian brands that I really love as well are Denim Smith and Nobody Denim. I really like them because not only do they do great denim, but they have really great sustainable practices that they use. And I love that they're really forging the way for that in denim, in the fact that, as I mentioned before, denim is often a huge contribution to water use and water pollution, as well as denim. And there's a huge number of denim that ends up in landfill every year. Other jeans that I love for a skinny are Topshop. And the reason I love Topshop, which is, funny to follow on from Nobody and Denim Smith to Topshop, but Topshop have really great options for varying sizes and heights. So whether you're petite, whether you're quite tall, they do their jeans in varying lengths. You can find a length that suits you with often not having to tailor the length either. So it saves you money on that. And their skinny jeans have really good bounce back ability, if that's even a word, where you can wash and wear and they don't lose their shape, especially around places like your knees. And then there's an American brand called AGOLD who are doing some really great things as well and are worth looking up. And that is spelled AGOLDE for those that are listening in right now and want to give them a quick look up. All right. So now that I've talked through different trends with jeans as well as brands, I guess the next question is tips for buying jeans. And isn't this just the holy grail when you find the perfect fitting jeans? So it goes without saying, you must try your jeans on. You must try them on. Even if you are used to buying the same brand and that same size every time, I highly suggest you still try it on. And that is because dependent on the wash of your jeans, depending on details such as fading and distressing, your jeans actually can fit differently. Believe it or not, within the same brand. Even if you buy the same style in the same brand, but in different washes, it could be a slightly different fit just because of the way it's treated. So you must try them on. So when you've got to try jeans on, please be dedicated. Otherwise, you're going to end up with jeans in your wardrobe that you don't wear. Think about your body and where the jeans sit to be the most flattering as well. I always recommend either a high waist or a mid waist, as these sit in the most flattering parts of our body. So a high waist, it naturally sits in our natural waistline, and a mid-rise just sits slightly below, so almost like around the top of your hips. When you try them on, what you want to do is make sure that they're comfortable while you're standing. They're comfortable and flattering when you're sitting down, that they don't bag at the back. And when you can bend over in your jeans, especially important if you have small children and they're jeans that you want to wear around them, because you spend a lot of time bending over, picking up toys, picking them up as well. So you want to be, it sounds really funny, but you want to be moving around in your change room if you're in the change room, or if you happen to buy online and try on at home, you want to be, doing all the movements. I know people that do lunges in their jeans to see if they can get really good movement from them. So try them on. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Try them on. Don't make assumptions. Your jeans should be snug because after a few wears, they're going to start to mold to you. And that is the same for both jeans with stretch and jeans that don't have stretch. So they should be snug around their waistband. often when I see clients in their wardrobe, it's the waistband in jeans that have often given it out before anything else, or the fit around the hips. So you want to make sure that the waistband is snug. It should actually feel slightly uncomfortable snug, because after about 3 or 5 wears, that is going to start to stretch and it's going to start to mold to your body, and therefore then it will be the more accurate size for you. So you should be able to, look, I'm going to try and reach up for the camera. You should be able to fit, you know, two to 3 fingers in there quite tightly. If you can fit more than that, then it's way too big. So they should feel slightly uncomfortably snug during a waistband. And also make sure that the fit is correct on your hips and your bottom, because wherever there's going to be tension points in your jeans, that's where they're going to stretch a little bit and mold to your body. So if they're the perfect fit straight away, then they're probably actually going to become a looser fit after a few wears, and then you'll feel like they need tailoring. So there's a few tips for you when you're looking at the fit. And then look for brands that offer you different lengths as well, or look at getting your jeans hemmed by a tailor. That extra $20 to $30 can mean the difference between jeans that look polished and jeans that just bring this sense of effortless ease to your outfit, rather than jeans that sit incorrectly. It's just one small detail that can really elevate your look or bring it right down again. All right, I hope that's answered all your jean questions. Should we move on? I got asked another trending item. So what's trending in boots? Because obviously in Australia, we're coming into autumn and winter. And with boots, we're seeing 90s again. So we're seeing a lot of chunky combat styles, such as your Doc Martens. We're also seeing cut-out ankle boots. This was a trend that was developed by Chloe, so a high-end designer Chloe, or label I should say Chloe, and we're seeing it starting to filter down to more street style brands. And so we're going to see a lot of that in Australia again. So cut-out ankle boots, really great way to show off your socks if you want to show a bit of personality into your outfit. Western was trending last year, and we're going to see it trend again, not only in ankle styles, but also in higher styles such as knee-high boots. And then with knee-high boots, we're seeing a movement to more classic styles, or more classic colors, I should say. So these are really good investments because they can be timeless styles. So we're looking at knee-highs in beautiful tans and chocolate colors, even burgundy, and black, and funnily enough, white. We're seeing some lighter colors coming through, which is a great way to freshen up your look when we're so used to dark colors in winter. So they're the kind of styles that we'll see this coming autumn and winter here in Australia. Are you still with me? Still going? I've still got so many great questions. So thanks again to everyone that has submitted. This one is more based on body shapes. And before I answer it, there's 3 questions that kind of interlink together. So I'm going to answer them all about the same, because it is the same answer realistically. But before we talk about body shapes, I need to talk about how I go about my process as a stylist. When you see me as a stylist, I don't say that you are a stereotypical body shape and therefore you have to dress a certain way. I think everyone knows what I'm talking about, such as the hourglass, the column, the triangle, the inverted triangle, an orange, whatever it happens to be. I'm not into those inanimate labels, object labels. And that is because it has a set of rules to those body shapes that doesn't always reflect my client's needs. And I feel like that can, if it doesn't, then it actually is a detriment to their own confidence and the way that they perceive themselves and their body. So therefore, rules are meant to be broken. I'm a firm believer in that. And with that, when it comes to body shapes, just because you are a pear, for instance, with a pear, stereotypically speaking, it's creating more interest and volume up top to balance out a bigger bottom, or hips, we should say. That's a stereotypical speaking. But we're seeing a movement change from that, because there's a lot of women out there that are going to the gym and their aim is to get a booty, or if I'm going to cool talk, a peach. And if you're working in the gym for that, then of course you want to show it off. So that's what I mean. If I was to come in and say that we want to minimize that feature, and if that is your confidence zone, then you know what? That's going to be a detriment if we are hiding the thing that you love about yourself every day. So I think that's enough talk on that you know that I'm not into stereotypical body shapes, because it doesn't suit everyone. But that being said, I can help you with, you know, body shape issues. So the ones that I've been hearing a lot are, I feel like I have thicker thighs. How do I dress them? Another one which is quite similar is, I carry weight on my lower abdomen, and what pants or skirts suit. I find lower cuts aren't flattering, and I'm not sure about high rise. Do they accentuate my lower abdomen or stomach? And then the other one I have, which is quite similar as well, is as I have aged, I have gained 4 dress sizes. I once had a flat stomach, bum, and thighs, and I don't anymore. How do I look slimmer? You know, these are really common questions, especially for women, I find, because our hormones play such a role throughout our life, and then with menopause, our shapes change, and then it's knowing how to dress that new shape. So my answer kind of is the same for all 3 of these questions. So let's go to it, especially if you're wondering, yes, I need this information as well. When it comes to wanting to minimize, if you're wanting to minimize rather than highlight your thighs or your bottom or your hips or your stomach, as a lot of those areas work together for a lot of people, then it's all about illusion dressing. It's about tricking the eye. And by that, I mean there's so much that we can do in terms of colors and prints and how we wear them and where we wear them. So if there's an area in your body that you want to minimize or that you don't want to draw attention to, then that's where you want to place darker colors. So that's where we're talking dark black, for instance, navies, dark denim. These are all colors that you can use, or even like dark chocolate browns and burgundies. Wherever you place a dark color, that is, and then in subsequence, use a brighter color or a print, that is going to draw the attention away. So let me describe that further. Darker colors are slimming. We've all heard the saying that black is slimming, and it's true. So the areas that you want to minimize or slim down, use a darker color. Therefore, what you want to do is then draw attention to the parts that you love about yourself. So if you like your décolletage, for instance, or you want to draw attention away from your stomach, hip, and thighs, draw the eye up or draw the eye down. So things that you could do to draw your eye down is to create detail at the hem of your pants, such as cuffing, or wear a statement or a colourful shoe. Or to draw your eye up, what you could do is to wear print and colour on the top. These are all things that are going to trick the eye and draw it away from the areas that you may want to minimise or don't particularly want to highlight to the rest of the world. So that's things that you can do. So you could wear a print up top. Other things that you can do as well with illusion dressing is to create panels. And by panels, what I mean is to wear a solid colour, such as, let's say you wear a black top and black pants, and then add a jacket on in a different colour, and it creates this vertical line through the middle, which is really slimming. Vertical lines are really slimming as it draws the eye up and down. I should do this over here, not in front of my face. Draws the eye up and down, whereas horizontal draws your eye across. So horizontal is great for creating shapes, such as for if you have a small bust and you want to create more shape in your bust, you can wear vertical stripes in your bust. But if you want to draw the eye up and down, then vertical stripes will do that. And by creating panels, such as a solid color and then a different color on top, and it creates this middle panel, that is creating a vertical line that is really flattering. I've already mentioned as well the saying, wearing all black is slimming or wearing all black is flattering. You could wear all the same color. That can be really flattering as well. And then other things that you can do to create these vertical lines is V-necks. Look, I dress really appropriately today. You can wear V-necks because rather a scoop neck draws our eye around, so almost like a soft horizontal, but a V-neck draws our eye up and down and draws attention to your chest and décolletage, the upper part of your body, and away from your hips and thighs. So they're really flattering as well. You could also create a vertical line with necklaces or longer necklaces as well. So if you are wearing a scoop neck and you want to break that up, then you could wear a longer style necklaces or chains too to create those vertical lines. I know I'm saying vertical lines a lot, but I hope it's hitting home about illusion dressing. Other things that you want to do as well, I think the biggest mistake when it comes to hiding hips, thighs, bottoms is this is almost like ingrained in our subconscious that we should wear baggy clothes where we feel like we're carrying extra weight. And believe it or not, this can actually draw your eye to the problem area more. Sure, it's not clingy on the area, but it can actually draw your eye more because it creates more volume. So you're creating more volume where you already feel like you have volume that you want to minimize. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So therefore, baggy clothes aren't always the best option. And you want to make sure that if you're wearing a top, for instance, that it's not cutting you off. So the finishing point, so let's say the hemline, is not cutting you off in your widest part, because that's going to, wherever the cutoff point is also going to be an attention grabber for eyes. So things that you can do to avoid this is to half tuck your tops. So, and by a half tuck, look, I'm going to stand up. A half tuck is exactly what I have done here, where there is drape around. So it's scooping around and it's minimizing a little bit around my bottom and my hips. And it's just drawing attention to my waistline. While it's not tight on my waistline, it's drawing attention to my waistline is as in like a little hint. So you could do a half tuck in the front, but what I find is more flattering is, look at this tutorial. Half tuck to the side on your hip bone and then draw across in a soft drape. This is perfect for cotton tees or silk tops because now we're drawing our eye from our hip point down and around rather than to the front of our stomach. And it's now not cutting me off at my hip point, so the widest point of my body if I was to leave my top out. So there is other things that you can do to illusion dress as well. And then other styles that are really flattering are actually A-line styles. So think about styles that have a little bit of fit around the waistline. It doesn't have to be a clingy fit either. It doesn't have to be skin tight, but it nips in at the waistline and then softly draws out. So think about skirts, like pleated skirts that we're seeing at the moment, or A-line skirts, A-line dresses, things like that can be really flattering. As the nip in the waist, that's where our eye gets drawn to our waist, and then it softly just drapes over your hips, your stomach, your thighs, and it doesn't cling and draw attention to them. The focus point is where the neckline will sit, where the hem of that dress or skirt will sit, and that waist. And I should say this for those that don't know, when I talk about your waist, as I mentioned, is that smallest part of your body. So naturally when we think of women, we think of that feminine typical hourglass shape that nips you in. Your waist is here. It's not your stomach. So many clients think it's the front in their stomach. You think it's here. Your waist is actually in here, the smallest part. So it's almost between the bottom of your ribs and the top of your hips. So by drawing in there, we draw our eye away from the stomach yet again. And then, of course, there are other things that you can do as well. So look, so many options that you can try out, and then you'll find one that suits you. Not all of these are probably going to suit you. It comes down to your own personal preference, because remember, along with body shapes, you have your own personal style as well. What I must say, I did mention before that oversized, floaty, drapey tops can actually be unflattering if you're wanting to minimize around your stomach and hips. If you do want to wear these kind of tops because you feel most confident in them, then what I suggest you do is you wear a fitted bottom. So like a fitted pant or a skinny jean or a slim lid jean. And that's because it's going to help create proportion. If you were to wear then, like let's say a wider bottom, it's going to look like a block. You're going to have drape at the top, drape down the bottom, or like wide length down the bottom. So create proportion by, if you've got a drapier top, wear a more fitted pant underneath. That's going to create better balance. And that's the way that you can wear a draper top that sits and hides your bottom and your hips, so floats over the top of them. And then that structured pant, that fitted pant, is going to stop you from feeling like a block, essentially. Now, I have mentioned high waist and fitted on the waist styles. If you don't feel comfortable with these styles, I completely understand. As I mentioned, it also comes down to you and your personal style as well. So different rises that you can look at is look at a mid-rise where it's not high rise, it's not low rise, which is not flattering if you do want a high lower stomach. So go for the spot that's in between a mid-rise, which should sit around the top of your hips. And these can be really flattering. And then just choose it in a darker color. Darker colors hide everything. I think that's pretty much it for my illusion dressing and my tips if you feel like you're carrying more weight in your lower body. Yeah. And then, I know you hate this as women especially, underwear makes a huge difference. Huge difference. It's the foundation to an outfit. So other things that you can do if you still want to boost confidence, if you still feel uncomfortable with certain areas, is to make sure you're choosing the right underwear. So don't choose underwear that sits too low, that could create a line in fitted styles. Choose something that is, again, a higher rise fit, and this can be more flattering as it just smooths everything in the front. Great. That's all the questions I had. I've actually gone a lot longer than I originally planned. I was planning for 30 minutes and we've gone 45. So I hope tonight has been really valuable for you. Is there any questions that I can answer while I'm still on here? Look, I'm going to check for those that are on YouTube. I'm just checking to see what's come through on Instagram here. Hi to everyone that's been on Instagram. Oh, I got a question. Thoughts on scrunchies? Oh yeah, that's a 90s resurgence if I've ever seen one. Look, my hair's a little bit short to be rocking a scrunchie. I feel like when I tie up in a scrunchie, it's more scrunchy than hair. But I really like it. One, it's a lot kinder on your hair than a thin elastic. Similar to those bobbles, so you don't get hair breakage. But it's a great way to add personality to an outfit. Why not color coordinate? It can be a really great way if you've got your hair tied up in a bun to add some extra detail. You could always add a scarf as well. But yeah, I think scrunchies are a really great way. We kind of see that movement from hair clips to scrunchies now. Why not? Inexpensive way to play with a trend and have some fun with your hair. It's just, yeah, just not a thing for me. Anything else? Oh, look, I can see this. I can see a lot of you had the same parent feelings as I did tonight. No more questions. Great. Well, I hope it has been super valuable. I'm going to leave you as I know your evenings are so precious. I just want to thank you on YouTube and those on Instagram for joining in tonight. I have loved being able to give you style tips and advice. It's, I always say I'm candid, I'm an open book, and I love being able to share my knowledge and experience with you. So have a wonderful evening. For those that are enjoying a beverage, enjoy the last of it. And hopefully we can do this again soon. Thank you so much.